All right, so we're here on Scotia Street. I'm here with Kenneth Ingram from the Seven Oaks Historical Society. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
So, nice spring day today here in the neighborhood. I imagine things looked a lot different 75 years ago in 1950. We're talking about the flood, of course.
Absolutely, yeah. 75 years ago, plus a few weeks, this area was just full of water, and we're talking 5-10 feet tall in lots of properties. The first floor totally full of water, and people were being evacuated, told to leave their homes and wait until it recedes.
So, I mean, what would the average Winnipegger have experienced at that time?
Yeah, so if you lived near the river, of course, you're leaving your home, but of course, if you have family near the river, you're going to be expecting family members to be joining you in your home in a makeshift room, and so you're getting crowding in your house, of course, and you don't know for how long this is going to last.
Yeah. What would have, not just in this neighborhood, but, you know, folks that are maybe a little further out from where we are on the steps of the Red River here, like, what would the mood have been like in the city at that time?
Oh, it would have been like something that they had almost never seen before. I mean, the previous flood to this that was at this magnitude would have been about 36 years ago. And so it wasn't exactly in recent memory for a lot of the people living in this neighborhood. And so it was totally something that they weren't expecting. So just total shock.
So we're outside of this house in particular, number 265. Tell me about the significance of this home here in particular.
Yeah, so this home really sort of exemplifies a lot of these 1950 flood photos we see, and just how high the water got. And you have this decoration here on the left side of the home, and you can see exactly how high the water got here just from looking at the photos before and seeing it now from person to person. Some people just accepted the flood, that they lived near the river. Some people moved. Other people moved and chose to move their house with them, like building contractor and home builder Walter Sinicki, who actually picked up his home at 261 Scotia and moved it to the corner of Macadam and Salter.
I imagine no easy feat back in 1950.
Absolutely not, no.
When people think about floods in Winnipeg, the flood of 97, of course, is probably the one that comes to mind the most for people. But why should people think about the flood of 1950 as well? What's the significance of that one?
It really was a turning point in Winnipeg history, because politicians soon realized that we have to get ahead of some of these disasters before they happen again. And that's when 10-15 years later we started hearing talk about a permanent floodway. And then 15 or so years later, it was finally completed. And that's the reason why the 1997 flood wasn't nearly as bad as this one, even though the water levels would have been higher without the flood.
And you've done a lot of research into the flood of 1950 in particular. Is there anything that surprised you in everything that you've looked into?
Yeah, well, the flood could have been much, much worse, and it did get to Main Street in some spots. It was very close, just at Main here, near Rupert's Land and Seven Oaks, but it could have been much worse. Another foot or two, and the water could have made it all the way to the rail tracks, 2/3 of the way between Main Street and McPhillips, had the water just gotten another foot or two higher. So,
yeah. We're talking about this 75 years later in 2025 here. What should Manitobans take away from this? Like, why should we think back to 1950 when we're thinking about floods in Winnipeg?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, 75 years isn't all that long ago, and all of these families all had their individual stories, and now is a perfect time to think about all of the people that were living here during that time, their family situation, their occupations, and what their houses looked like at the time. And it's a perfect time to experience this local history that we often don't hear enough about.
Something like this, do you think possible again?
Well, now that we have the floodway, luckily, it doesn't seem quite as likely, but you never know. You can never fully trust the red.
For sure. Kenneth, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.